Hey, listen up. So we got a show for you. It's brand new. It's Mark and Brent, and they're going to tell you how to get off their lawn, and we'll start right after this. All right, it's me. I'm back, but I'm going to give you Mark and Brent, and here they are. Oh, nope, that didn't work. There you go. There they are.
Here we are.
All right. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
I don't care if you're on my lawn or not.
You guys are grumpy old men.
We are.
Just like me.
Sometimes grumpier.
All right.
Saying a lot.
You guys are grumpy.
Make it happen.
Why are we here?
I don't know. To have some fun.
Whose dumb idea was this?
Yeah, actually, Will.
Yes.
Yes, thank
Pretty
you.
sure.
It was not my idea, I promise.
It was completely your idea. And you know who's really, really concerned about this idea?
Your wives.
Our wives.
If I was concerned, it would be because, I was married to you. But I'm not, so I don't care.
Praise God. Yes, we've had many discussions about, we've talked about doing this for what, like a year?
Yeah, about that.
And, Mark and I go to breakfast a lot with our wives. And whenever this comes up, talking about the podcast, both of them get this look that's definitely fear. And they've commented that we don't know if this is really a good idea at all.
It's probably a horrible idea.
It probably is a horrible idea, but I figure nobody's going to watch it anyway, so we might as well just get together and have fun.
Well, that's the fun part about this, is nobody watches.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you're
And
good.
We're going to get all kinds of
Actually-
comments about people saying, hey, I'm watching.
Actually, there's going to be a lot of people watching.
Who?
Just a lot of people. We didn't promote this like it should have been promoted. Oh, yeah.
Should it have been?
It should have been promoted. This is like a pilot, but, I mean, Joe Rogan, no, that's legit. And, okay.
You think you're taking on Joe Rogan?
We could crash and burn and be Chevy Chase, but, I think this is good.
You mean
Wow.
Josephine Rogan?
I just looked at the screen.
Don't look at the screen.
Golly.
Just
I am
ignore the guy
so
behind
washed
the
out.
You're not. Trust me.
I look clear.
You look great.
Thanks.
So, what's our goal of this podcast? Do we have one?
Have fun.
Have fun, okay. And be grumpy.
Educational,
Yeah. For who?
fun for our listening audience. It's a very diverse audience.
Is it, though?
It's going to be kids and elderly.
I figure
and
it's going to be people that know us that want to sit back and laugh at us and go, what a bunch of morons.
Man, I think you're selling me short.
And just for the record, if there are people out there that don't know who we are,
Yes.
so I'm Brent. I grew up in the area, been here all my life. Mark, when did you move in? You came in like what?
Freshman year.
Freshman year of high school?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think good things to know are Brent, you went to Rogersville your whole life. You're
Yep.
Logan Rogersville graduate. You were a photographer. You were all about that. And then Mark, you also went to Rogersville. And I'm sure at some point we will confess to the shenanigans that you and I got up to when we were in high school, because they were extensive. And then you went to Drury and you got your education degree, and you came back and you were a teacher at Rogersville for like 100 years.
25
Yeah, a long, long time. And assistant principal, is that right?
for a time.
Yeah, and now you've retired. And
Actually, I think he was assistant to the principal.
like Dwight Schrute, right? Yeah, assistant to the assistant. Yeah, that's you. Okay, but that's important. And you both have impacted many people in this community, and that's why you're.
Any wrecks in a long time.
But that's why you're here.
Okay.
Yep.
That
Continue.
was funny.
It really wasn't. That was a dad joke.
I love dad jokes. And I hope to have a segment on here, a recurring segment that would be like,
if we're voting,
Yeah.
we're going to vote that one down.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've heard them all, and they're none of them funny.
I think a lot of people find.
Okay,
it funny.
give us one.
Well, the one that everybody knows is my joke is, what do you call a man with a rubber toe? Roberto.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah,
That is such a good joke, and the delivery is sublime.
I don't know about that, but Brent.
So, I got to tell you,
Okay.
I've kind of gone through this phase of watching old TV shows, like from when I was growing up.
Okay.
And there was one that I've always wanted to watch because for whatever, I mean, we had, 2 channels when I was growing up, and you had to change the channel like that.
I think you had 4.
You're older. We had 3.
Well, you lived
3
in
channels.
You had better signal than I did. So there was this show on in the late 70s, and it was called Space 1999. Do you have any memory of
This
this?
is on
No.
PBS or something?
No,
What-
no. It was much more cheesy than anything they would show on PBS.
Okay.
It did not age well. I found it on Amazon. You can watch it there for free because nobody would pay to watch this show.
Okay.
Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I want you both to know that we have at least 3 people watching this show as we
Becky,
My wife-
Johnny, and
and
Shelby.
well, maybe me because I've got it on my phone, but you got
Hi,
at least,
honey.
you got at least a couple viewers. So there you go.
Come on and ask some questions just whenever you feel like.
Yeah, if you have a question for Mark or Brent or me, you can fire it on, and I'll put it on the screen, and they can answer your questions. Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, this thing's gonna go viral.
Like an infection.
I'm gonna take my hat off. There we go.
Ooh, is it?
No, I think you should put it back on.
What's that?
I think you should put it back
Wow,
on.
that is bright. Gosh. I am. I'm translucent.
Your forehead goes way back.
Studio lights. Continue.
There we go. Golly.
I think I was done. Lame TV show. Did not age well.
Didn't age well.
No.
Hey, I thought about stuff that, when we come on, again, because it's going to go so big, we don't want to do product placement for free,
You're up to 5 viewers, by the way.
right?
Yeah.
No free product placement. So I have a generic coffee mug right there. If you want something, you're going to have to pay Will money so that we advertise for your coffee. Otherwise, that's it.
We'd love to have sponsors. Sure.
By the way,
Yep.
I'm not going to name the coffee place that I tried to go get coffee from a while ago, but the door was locked. They're not open on Mondays. I was very disappointed
Yeah.
because I really needed some coffee.
Well, I think I know what that is, and they have the best coffee in the world.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, they do. But
Very disappointed.
Monday is coming soon. I've talked to the owner, so you'll be okay.
Okay. That'll be good. You haven't been there probably. We'll talk about it later
Okay.
since they're not officially a sponsor.
They're not officially a
Yet.
sponsor. That's right.
Yes.
A little money under the table or something like that. Speaking of which, Will is.
Wait
we-
a minute. Money under the table led you to something about
we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Will, as we're making fun of one another, Will is almost like we can't be mean to him. He's running for office. He's our next representative
This is true.
from this district in
And
Webster
so the money
County.
under the table should be to you and I for not telling about all the things we know about.
Yeah, except I'm paying for this whole show. So
There is that.
See, and so hold on.
You brought props.
oh, he's got it there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Right.
we'll see. You know, I've said many times if I don't win, all right, I'll just stay here and make money because that's a money loser for me. But anyway,
I mean, I've said before, I'm not sure about people that get into politics.
yeah.
That takes a special breed. You've got to be willing to take all kinds of abuse.
Well, yeah. So I've been practicing. So I've been putting stuff on Facebook to let people, say nasty things about me, and I've been practicing ignoring them while they do that. And I sort of have
You have a thick skin anyway.
Well,
You do.
I don't. No, I really don't. It really bothers me when people say things nasty about me. But I understand that if I'm going to be a state rep and try to help make things better, I got to let people say stuff that's stupid about me, and I'll be okay with that. And but my rule on social media is I'll post whatever I want on my page. And if you want to come on my page, on my post and comment, game on. We'll play, and you'll probably lose because I have the advantage of being right, and that's a real benefit when you're in an argument is being right.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of friends that don't believe the way I do, and they post whatever they want. Fine, they can post it. I won't challenge them. I won't comment on them. They can post whatever they want, and for two reasons. One, I believe they have the right to say whatever they want. I believe in free speech. You can say that. But second of all, social media algorithms, whenever someone comments on your post or likes it or dislikes it or shares it, the social media algorithms, Facebook in particular, sees that as an engagement and will make that post more popular and show it to more people. So if someone posts something I disagree with it, the worst thing I can do is comment to disagree or click I don't like it, because that just makes their post more popular. So I won't engage. But if you want to come and disagree with me, thank you. You just made my post more popular. So I'm a big fan. So disagree with me all you want.
Secret.
Huh?
You just gave away your secret.
Well, here's the thing. We've been telling the Democrats, and I know you don't want to be political, but we're there, for 6 months now, exactly what they're doing wrong. Mm-hmm. We've been telling them, you got to stop with this woke crap. You got to get back to what you thought you were in the 80s, which is we're for the working people, we're for rational things, we're for making the regular people more prosperous. And they won't do it. They continually double down on LGBTQ, and we want men that think they're women to be in women's sports and women's locker rooms. And thank goodness, because the more they go that way, the more people hate them, and the more the Republican Party becomes more popular. And so, good on them. If the Democrats wanted to be successful, all they got to do is pay attention to what the Republicans are telling them they're doing wrong. But they won't, and fine with me.
So, okay. Yeah, we're not going to do political stuff. But
You sure?
One thing I want to comment on that is just, this is just goofy to me. So everybody knows Elon Musk is, he's doing the Doge thing, finding all kinds of crazy spending crap. And so what's happening now is people are attacking Tesla.
Right.
Okay, so I there's part of me, I get that. You're trying to have an impact on Elon, and you're trying to make things hard for him, and you're trying to voice that opinion. But Tesla is, I would say, probably the premier EV car company out there. Okay?
Right. Yeah, it is.
And most of the liberal approach has always been, EV's good because we're going to save the planet by driving electric cars. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But now we're going to attack that same company. We're going to set them on fire. We're going to blow them up. We're going to, whatever. And, this is backwards to me. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
That's true.
Well, the other thing I think people need to consider is they think they're attacking Elon Musk, but Elon Musk owns maybe 13% of the stock in Tesla, and the other 83% are owned primarily by pension funds. And so the people hammering Tesla are hurting their own retirement funds. But I think that just shows the lack of knowledge of the leftists, the liberals in our country, is they don't understand. They have no concept of how the world actually works. So they operate purely on emotion. And, people are waking up. I mean, you got 80% of America, I firmly believe, that is on board with Elon Musk and what he's doing with Doge and Donald Trump. And you've got 20%, maybe, that are like, okay, maybe I'm opposed to this. And you've got 10 to 5% represented by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders. But they're loud. And they're making a huge noise, and they're amplified by ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and CNN. And it sounds like there's a lot of people that are opposed to this. And realistically, it's just not true. Thanks, Mark, for showing my, my campaign push card. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No.
I'm done. I'll stop.
All right.
Continue. Get off my lawn.
This ends our political segment.
Yeah.
Today.
Sure.
Maybe.
We need to shout out. I wrote down notes so that I can make sure that we do this, okay?
Okay, you guys were poo-pooing my show notes, and you're using a freaking notebook.
I just jotted down stuff.
Just because I didn't read them doesn't mean I'm poo-pooing them.
Yeah, okay.
We are on the World Wide Web. In parts
Nobody
unknown.
says that anymore,
India,
by
what do they call it?
It's just the internet.
The internet.
It's,
The internet.
how old am I?
Old.
You're 55, would be my guess.
People in India right now.
Yeah.
And Dubai.
Yeah.
And Gainesville and Brunner and Alton that are tuning in.
That could be. There's no, what we have routinely said about our shows on Planet 417 is there's no reason to believe that Donald Trump isn't watching right now. We have no evidence to the contrary.
Our Mr. President, we appreciate it.
We do. We appreciate it. Or whoever the president of India is, and I don't know who that is. But, Xi Jinping, the president of China, could be watching right now.
True.
And he could be aiming a drone at us at this very moment. Well, he could. He has the capability. But we have the new F-47 fighter jet. Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's cool. So I've always had this thought. When they release information about their new latest and greatest fighter jet or bomber or whatever it is, that means that's not the main one anymore.
Well,
the one that they're actually using is really, really cool. We don't know about yet.
I think what you saw is they showed you a picture of it, but it was highly obscured.
Yes.
And so they're not really showing you what that thing looks like.
This is such good content, you guys. You are so good at this. The Waffle's in trouble.
You think so? I don't think so. I think the Waffle's coming into its 5th season. The Waffle will be fine.
The Waffle has nothing.
You're not going to take us out.
Oh.
So I'm cutting you off. So on that topic,
Yeah.
I was at an air show. This was way back when, and the stealth fighter had been revealed, and there was one on static display. They wouldn't let you go around behind it, like where the engines, I assume, are. Because I guess that was still like top secret at the time, and there was like an armed guard standing there, and if you tried to get back there too far, he's like, back it up. So yeah, I mean, what you say is true. We've seen a sort of a picture.
Yeah, and I think that's all we're going to see. But it's being built in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah. Boeing's going to make that in St. Louis. So this was a big boon for us right here in Missouri from Boeing, yeah. Boeing's going to build it, and we're going to talk about how bad their space capsule is that Elon had to rescue because Boeing couldn't do it. But hey, yay Boeing, Missouri company. We're all fans because they're going to make that happen.
All right. Do we get like commercial breaks, or do I need?
No, we have no sponsors. We have no commercials. So
we've been promoting you from the get-go.
Well, hang on. Maybe I can. Let me look. Maybe I can get us a commercial here. I don't know. You keep talking. I'll see what I can do.
Is your bladder full?
No, I need a drink.
Well, take a drink. It's okay.
I've been drinking mine right here on.
Yeah, me too.
Promoting McDonald's. All right.
Oh, yep, I am.
It's all right. There's I promise. There's something.
I didn't need to say it. I think it's not just wives that are watching. I think people from Dallas are watching. I think people from. Hey,
all you've talked about is how many people are going to watch this.
Do you want to
contribute?
No, I don't want to.
Do you want a commercial break? I'll give you a commercial break. 30 seconds. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Here you go. I'm Will Worsham. After 20 years in criminal law, I shifted gears because I saw too many families suffer when the estate plan they thought was solid wasn't. Parents thought they had it all taken care of, only for their kids to find out too late that they didn't. That's why I created Worsham Workshops, entertaining, informative sessions where families learn to avoid the most common pitfalls in estate planning. You don't have to leave your family's legacy to chance. Join a Worsham Workshop and see why so many families trust us with their legacy. Visit worshamworkshops.com or call us today. All right, there was your commercial break. How about that? And we're back.
Mark went and emptied his bladder real quick.
Did not.
I think he would hurt himself if he did it that fast.
We're old enough. We
Hey,
just wear Depends and you don't have to worry about
This
it.
thing. Isn't that cool?
So those are barber chairs, actually. We thought those would be a nice set, and Alex Bryant uses it.
Yeah.
That set when he has a guest for his show. Of course, we've got the morning waffle set or anything else anybody wants to do. Rodney uses that for his Bible study on the other side here. So we got a nice. I think we got a really cool studio here.
And you've got green screen.
Yeah, we do. We could do the weather over here if you wanted to.
No. We're gonna do a promo video where we get out of the truck and
green
heading
screen?
into work in slow motion, and you look off into the distance, and cool music comes in. Everybody's like, "Oh wow, get off my lawn!"
Well, that's actually what we need to do. Is we need to get a real promo intro filmed for you guys. Like, you guys have seen the Morning Waffle, or probably not, because you never watch it.
Watched it.
Yeah, so we have a little intro video. It's a little animated. Yeah, I mean, we can do something like that for you guys. We got to throw about $500 or $600 at it if you want to do that. So we may need some sponsors first, but hey, maybe somebody would like to sponsor this show.
I've
got
got
a
it. I've
steak.
got Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay, well, there you go. You can make it yourself.
with the green screen.
Sure.
The green screen.
You guys can,
Whatever.
as long as I don't have to write a check, you guys can do whatever you want in here.
Good.
We won't make you write a check.
Okay, very good.
What was the? Oh, social media. All right. I have stayed away from social media and tried to stay
Probably
very
best.
neutral.
Do you even look at it?
For the most part, occasionally. Johnny does most of that work, and so I stay out of it. But I went on. Okay, I've been on X since the beginning of the year, and
Congratulations.
what?
Congratulations. You're one of my most active followers.
Yes.
You like my stuff all the time. Thank you.
He's retired.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I put only content about, or like my nature photos, or content about Jesus. By the way, we're going to offend somebody with everything. I'm just going to
Sure.
take this part out of the
Yeah, let's just do it.
I do not apologize. I am a Jesus-following Christian.
Amen.
And that is going to be...
It's going to play
If-
into the show for sure.
What is your X handle if someone wants to follow you? Do you know?
Oh.
I'm at
Mark
Brent Lee. No, I'm just at
Allen.
Brent Lee, I think.
At Brent Lee? Yeah. And you are at Mark A. Queen, would be my guess.
Mark Allen Queen.
Mark Allen Queen.
A-L-L-A-N.
A-L-L. Two L's.
Two L's.
Spelled wrong.
Two L's. Mark A-L-L-A-N
It is
Queen.
such good content. Okay.
I know I follow you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really good, but hardly anybody looks at it.
It takes a while to build a following. Yeah.
Well, I'm on Facebook, and I don't ever go on there.
Yeah.
I went on there, and I changed the photo.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Like your
That just-
profile photo?
yeah.
Well, you put Johnny on there,
Well, yes.
and so you get a lot of likes.
She got a ton of likes. And,
This is not hard to understand.
but I didn't know that it automatically posted that.
Sure.
I was just changing it.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah,
And
you get
so,
a Mark Queen updated his profile photo.
yes,
For sure.
That's what happened. And I was like,
Oh, no. We got a comment. Turn up the old dude's mics. Well, hey, that's from Haley Pyatt. So
hey,
your
Angel.
mics are up as far as they will go,
I need to do this.
which means you need to speak more. If
More
she
into
wants
it.
that, you need to speak more loudly, closely into your microphones.
Is this more better?
Thanks, Haley. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Angel. Okay.
Who is that anyway?
Haley, that's my
Haley.
daughter.
I know.
Oh,
I'm just,
you know that.
I know that.
You on,
Hey,
Reese?
Eli.
Hey, Eli.
What were you talking about?
That's
It
just
wasn't
it.
important.
It was important. Okay,
Social media.
yes, Facebook automatically puts that out there, and I wasn't prepared for that. My stuff blew up, and people were being kind and saying how good Johnny looked, and I thought, you know what? If that's how this works, I'm going to wear the same vest that I wore for that picture, and with you beside me, I don't think we have more than 5 viewers. Johnny needs to come
I'm showing 4 right now.
4.
So,
This is just where this mic's going to be. I keep trying to raise it up, and it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
no
So,
comment.
do we have any of those things that you threw down on a list of things that we wanted to talk
Thought
about?
we weren't looking at the list.
No, but you do remember some of the questions.
Okay, so I am going to bring this. And
Okay.
This is, grumpy old men, but we're going to talk about things from when we were young.
Yes.
How did we survive childhood? Okay, compared to kids today,
Bubble
and
wrap.
all of the bubble wrap that they put around them,
Yep.
how did we live?
Well, we have bottled water today.
We had a garden hose.
We had
garden
water
back
fountains.
then.
Huh?
we had water fountains.
Did have
Remember
yeah.
drinking off the water fountains? You have a line, and we'd wait in line and drink out of the water fountain behind everybody else in our class.
Yep. And you remember the kids in
That would
school
stick their mouth
that
all
would
the way
stick
up
their
it-
mouth down the, yeah, it's
Nasty.
What was wrong with them?
wrong.
But we drink after them,
We drink.
which means, we got immunized. That was immunization. That's why
That's why we're good.
that's why we don't need a vaccine. We've already
Let's think about this. There was that kind of stuff. But I give you lawn darts. Okay. For people who are younger, Haley, I don't know if you've ever played with lawn darts. Lawn darts are like darts that you throw at a dartboard, except they're big.
They're like
And-
missiles.
And yeah, they're like missiles. They've got the fins on the back, and they've got this big weighted, pointy thing on the front. And the point of it was you put these targets down in your lawn, and you'd take these things and pitch them up in the air, typically as far as you possibly could. That was
Right.
the fun of it. And they would sail down and ostensibly hit the target. Well, okay, that's dangerous. And like they stopped making them because kids were getting impaled by these things.
But what were the kids doing
I
standing
played
on the
lawn
target?
darts. Well,
And you
some
did
people
use
aren't such a good aim.
ostensibly. And that was a pretty big
It's
word.
a $5 word.
That is a big word.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's what nobody now understands is from our generation, the weak ones didn't survive. And so like Gen X on, it's just the strong ones that survived. The weak ones didn't make it.
And
And
we're weakening them because now everybody gets helmets and elbow pads and
Hey, I need to. We're starting to see a rejuvenation of the younger generation starting to wake up a little bit.
but are they being tougher?
First, they have to wake up. Then we can toughen them up. How's that?
Okay.
Fair?
maybe.
well, we're pretty impressed with Gen Z because they've become overwhelmingly conservative
Well, it's true.
because they're seeing the nonsense that
Just said that.
Did you use those words? Because that didn't come out of your face to me.
I started to say it. You poo-pooed it, and then Will said the same
You
thing
said it much more eloquently.
because you didn't give me the opportunity to finish.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. So I can remember a time, speaking of danger when you're a kid, we didn't even know what bicycle helmets were,
Okay.
or at least I didn't. And, you not only were you putting the playing cards on your back wheel, to make it sound cool.
Right.
You were laying the longest black mark you possibly could. That was the competition with your friends. Oh, man, that was like 10 feet. But we would ride bikes in places you shouldn't. Go places you shouldn't. So,
Okay.
like in these ravines, you get at the top of the hill and start going. And I can remember picking myself up out of this mangled bicycle when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And there's I'm covered in cuts and scratches and all that stuff.
And you walked it
And
off.
I hurt for a minute or two, but we walked it off and we kept going.
That's right.
It wouldn't fly today.
Well, somebody would sue somebody.
Right.
Uh,
Right,
you
Will?
deal with that, Will?
No, don't look at me. I don't go to court. I'm the lawyer without a suit. I don't go, which is right behind Brent's. Right there is my book cover, The Lawyer Without a Suit. That's my first book. You know, I have a new book out now.
Yes.
My new book is Will's Trusty Guide to Wills and Trusts, which is available on Amazon right now. You can download it. You can buy it and download it.
Order now.
Order now. Yeah, order now.
While supplies last. That was good.
What
I just said. This is not going to go well if you just pick on me.
I am not picking on you.
You kind of do. It's your MO.
Haley, do I pick on your father?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Are you guys going to reveal your nicknames for each other?
We've
And
already said them. We haven't really.
have you? I don't know that I heard. Maybe I missed that. But
He's
Since?
moron.
Yeah.
yeah,
And you are Putz.
yeah.
Don't look up on the internet.
And we were going to give Will a nickname,
Yeah.
but again, because this is going to go so big,
Yeah.
I didn't want to give
You didn't want to do that.
other than
I thought I was going to be the schmuck.
the honorable.
Yeah, the honorable. Well, that fits. Yeah,
The Honorable William O. Worsham.
I do. Yeah.
That's not an Irish name.
I can actually claim that title as a municipal judge. So, yeah.
Are you still a judge?
I am for Stratford and Rogersville. Yeah.
See?
Well, yeah. Careful.
Yep. Yeah, me be careful?
Anybody, you should all be careful. You never know.
Okay, so what else did you have on your little list of notes?
Oh, I was just going to talk about foods that we liked. I was going to talk about comedians that we liked. TV shows that didn't hold up well over time. Movies
Or
that
movies?
Well,
you really liked
now
then.
that I want to know. I want to know what TV shows you think don't hold up. Tell me what you think. Didn't survive.
I just came up with the question. I haven't had time to think.
Oh, you don't have an answer.
I have an answer.
Right. I do have like a top 10 list of movies of all time. Underrated movies.
Let me give you now this is a movie,
Okay.
but it did not hold up. And this
Okay.
is another one that I went back and watched because I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I'm going to watch that. And
Okay.
Logan's Run
Yeah, that's rough.
does not hold up
Yeah, it's rough.
at all.
Any of those movies that were kind of futuristic, but they were like 40 years ago,
Right.
and they were set like, I think Demolition Man is one of those. It was like set in like 1998,
Right.
And you're like,
Really?
didn't no.
Now see, I like Blade Runner.
Yes. I was saying that.
Oh, okay.
That it held
I
up.
thought you were saying that it didn't hold up.
Nope.
Okay.
It held up.
I think Seinfeld doesn't hold up well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've watched some Seinfeld, and some of them are okay, but some of them just don't survive. And I've never been a fan of Friends. I used to watch it kind of, but I never liked it because I'm just like, nobody should live like this. This is like the wrong way to live your life.
Up.
Who?
Home Improvement. Holds
Yeah.
up. Everybody loved Raymond.
Yeah.
Holds up.
The only thing I don't like.
Frasier.
We're watching Frasier right now. That's one of our. The only thing I don't like about Everybody Loves Raymond is it was one of those shows that promoted the whole husbands are incompetent, wives are the ones that
talking about
live the world, that run the world, and I think that's the wrong message to send to our society.
knows
So
best.
many sitcoms
Yep.
during that time
Yeah,
period were
right.
that way. What was it?
90s to
Married with Children?
now.
I mean-
yeah, Married with Children's one of them. Yeah. Husbands are just basically another kid for the wife to parent. Yep.
King of Queens.
Yep. Bad messaging. Yep.
Buffoons.
Yep.
So, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, watched through, and okay, there are issues with the show, but it was very nostalgic for me.
What's that?
Because my mom and I used to watch it. MASH.
I love MASH.
I love MASH.
Nah.
And so I watched through the entire thing, beginning to end. And it was good.
I have watched through MASH multiple times, and it is good. It's got a little bit of
there's definitely
communist overtones,
Yeah.
but you know, when they stay away from that, it's a really funny show.
I prefer I Dream of Jeannie from that era.
Interesting.
Wow.
Haven't watched that in a
Larry
while.
Hagman and,
Barbara Eden
and yes, Barbara Eden.
Well, we could roll back and
was. Wasn't there another guy that took over for Larry Hagman, or he took over?
no, that was you're actually thinking of Bewitched.
Yep.
So you had Dick Sargent and Dick York
Right.
that were actually the two actors that switched in the middle of Bewitched.
Right.
Yeah, which is also a great show to watch from if you want a good wholesome show, primarily from back in that time. Bewitched. Yeah. Yep. What's shocking is that you look back and you find out, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but you look back and I don't remember which one of those guys, but one of them and Mike Brady, they turned out to be gay. when you
As soon as you mentioned Mike Brady, I was like,
yep,
where this is going.
yep.
So,
Continue.
well, I was going to flip on over to music. Music. What group or what band did you love, and that now that is something that you don't care for?
Oh, that I liked then, but I don't like now?
Yes.
Van Halen.
Really?
So I think it's just been, maybe I listened to it too much.
Too much?
Because now if it comes on, I'm like, oh.
Might as well jump.
I like that.
I like Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still like Van Halen. Panama.
I don't know. I got burned out.
I have written with the help of ChatGPT a parody of Panama that I'm trying to get somebody to record for me. Maybe Mark, you can do that for me. Called
Sure.
Amazon. Amazon. You know, I'm waiting for that truck to come in.
So, Van Halen.
Okay.
Get on the interwebs sometime and look up.
That is not a correct thing. That is like saying virus instead of viral. It's not the
Hey,
interweb.
malapropisms are a perfectly valid form of entertainment. So if he wants to say interwebs, sure.
So you can say stuff like, this is going to go virus on TikTok.
Yeah, and I can even say I'll burn that bridge when I get to it.
I say that all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we cross it.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Okay.
So anyway,
Go ahead.
get on whatever, the Google, interwebs,
The Googles.
call it, and look up.
You've lost all your viewers, by the way. Nobody's watching anymore.
Look up David Lee Roth,
Okay.
lyrics only.
Oh, no.
It's just his
Oh.
audio track.
Okay,
with
yeah.
None of the music or anything behind
Okay.
it. It is hilarious.
Okay. Okay. Hey, is there really nobody on here?
No, there's people watching.
Oh, darn.
But just not,
'Cause I was gonna let-
not a lot. But, you know, this is normal, by the way. I mean, people can watch this later. You know,
Sure.
they'll watch the replay of it, and you'll get thousands of views.
Post a link to this on your X account.
What you guys want to do is after this, you want to find it on Planet 417. You want to share it to your own profile, and then people can see it then. Yeah.
Or not. depending-
I've already shared it. I've shared it to my profile, Rogersville Residents
Oh,
Unlimited.
no.
I shared it everywhere.
No.
Oh, it's gone wide, man. But you guys want to
Are
keep
you
it
serious?
I'm 100% serious.
I thought this was for family only.
We're trying to make a buck here, brother.
What time did we start?
Oh, I don't know. 5:30. It's almost 6. So you guys been running for about half an hour.
Doing good. We're doing good.
Are we doing good?
Sure.
Okay.
Again. Hi, Mom. You know, this is good. This is good.
That's the fun part about this platform is you can talk for as little or as long as you want, and
When we're done. we're done.
Okay.
we don't have to
Got
stop
music.
anything.
Okay.
What
We
about-
didn't talk about any of your shows that didn't hold up well. You didn't really give us any. And I'm curious to know what you think.
I don't know. The late 70s stuff that I just thought was it turned out to be just a little iffy. The Incredible Hulk, you know, he gets hit, he falls down.
You mean Lou
turns
Ferrigno,
green.
David Bixby? Wasn't he?
Bill
David
Bixby.
Bixby.
Bill Bixby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What about the $6 million man
he used to run around the house going,
Yep.
and the Bionic Woman?
Okay, I got to tell you what I miss. Good cartoons.
Yeah.
where people get blown up. Like Bugs
Well-
Bunny shoots
and you actually see the violence.
Right.
But no, I'm talking about, so we experienced Saturday morning cartoons,
Very good.
okay? Is that even a thing anymore?
No, I think
They have
that's one of the
access.
things.
They don't need to wait
Right,
till
'cause you can
Saturday
stream
morning.
it all whenever you want to.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that if I was to say that's what generations after us really missed is the Saturday morning cartoons where the whole week it wasn't for you. Maybe you got to watch the Dukes of Hazzards. Maybe you got to watch the BJ and the Bear.
Right.
Maybe you have to sit through Dallas. Maybe you had to sit through Lawrence Welk. All that stuff. Hee haw.
Hee haw.
Hee haw.
Good.
It was good. Hee haw was good. But Saturday morning was all about you. And you could get up. You'd get up early. You'd turn the TV on.
Get your bowl of cereal.
Yeah. You'd lay on the floor and you would watch and from 8 a.m. until noon and Aunt Norma's Children's Hour.
Yeah.
You would watch cartoons. And we got to do that. Our whole childhood. Yeah. And that's just not a thing anymore. I mean, and I think that's a little bit sad. I think that was fun that we got to do that and nobody else gets, it's just
Well,
gone.
think about what you have access now, immediate access.
Yeah.
to all
100%.
those things.
All the time, 24/7, watch a cartoon anytime you want.
We had to wait for, the weekend to go do things.
Well, and I mean, just think about when the Charlie Brown, Christmas special.
Right. That
If
was a
you
special thing.
if you missed it, you missed it. It was gone. You were not going to see it for a year. It was
Well, that's true.
yeah. There was no. I mean, when we were young, there was no VCRs. There was no nothing. You didn't get to record it and watch it later. You either watched it or you missed it.
Yep.
And
So-
I miss those. The Christmas
do
movies
too.
with like Rudolph and the snow monster guy.
The abominable snowman.
The abominable
Those
snowman.
things
Yeah.
are good. I like
But you can get them off of Apple.
stream them.
Yeah.
You can stream them. You can watch them anytime you want, 24/7, 365 days a year. We could watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer right now if we wanted to.
No patience.
Yeah, no patience.
So, favorite Saturday morning cartoons?
Ooh.
You can't not talk about Scooby-Doo, the original.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is good. There was only 2, maybe 3 seasons of that.
I know. And then they just,
And then they just recycled them. Oh, I mean, they made other versions of that. You came up with Scrappy-Doo, who everybody hates.
yep.
Scooby-Dum, and the Scooby-Doo Mysteries, but the original was called Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Was the original series, and there was only, I think, 2 seasons of that. So there's only maybe less than 20 episodes of the original Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
No, Bugs Bunny.
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Yep.
That's
Which those go back, that was interesting. Those go back all the way to the 1950s. And then when we watched them, they were just recycling them from the 50s in the Bugs Bunny hour, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner hour, and they would just recycle those old cartoons and all that. Those were old cartoons.
shout out to Laura, and I know that you love it when we show the kids fractured fairy tales.
Yes.
That
Love that.
Thank you.
That was part of the Bullwinkle show, afternoon special, the Bullwinkles.
see,
Yeah.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
So that's another thing. After school cartoons.
Yeah.
That was a whole different
Yeah.
stuff because they showed really old stuff.
Yeah, they did.
So like the Go-Go Gophers. Remember that?
Go Gophers. That was also part of the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Now,
So you had
Also-
Go Gophers. You had who's the Canadian guy?
The
yes,
Canadian man.
Dudley.
Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley
Yeah, Dudley Do-Right was one of them. Yeah, yeah.
The Martian guy you did when you were
Where's the kaboom?
Yeah.
There was supposed to be an earth shattering.
Yeah, so that's a Looney Tune. Yeah, Marvin the Martian for sure. And of course, Speedy Gonzales has been canceled.
Right. Well, you wouldn't get away with the Go-Go Gophers now either.
No, probably not.
and
no,
Dudley Do-Right.
And probably.
You might get away with
Hey,
Dudley
did you
Do-Right.
hear what happened? They legitimately were upset with the tariffs.
Who?
The Canadians.
Eh?
So they sent the Canadian Air Force, and you could hear them coming. The honk honk honk. That was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
it was a nice try.
Thank you.
Greenland is upset that our second lady is coming to Greenland. By the way, that's not a joke. That's real.
What's that?
Our second lady, JD Vance's wife, and I unfortunately can't remember her first name. Yeah. She's going to Greenland, and they're cranky about it. They're like, well, she shouldn't. She can't be. Come here as a private
The only
citizen.
reason I know that, I think it's actually USA, not USA.
Yeah, USA, something like that.
I read his book recently.
Yeah, I did too, but I don't remember her name. His book's on my table back in my office.
Read the book.
You wait for the movie?
I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to see the movie. I have read the book. I haven't seen the movie, but
Really eligible.
Yes.
I had to look that up to figure out what an elephant.
I'm just super proud of all the hillbillies, making an impact now because I feel like there's room for us now because
Yep.
I claim hillbilly status
And
legitimately. I
speaking
think.
of good movies and good stuff right now, you were talking earlier about the David show that came out.
House of David
House of David.
on are we allowed to say this on Amazon Prime?
Say whatever you want. We're not on Amazon. Well, you can download the Planet 417 app on Amazon Fire and watch our show. Yeah, you can.
So, tell about what you liked about it. What freaked you out?
What freaked me out?
Yeah.
Well, and this is your fault.
You
So the guy that plays Samuel. Now I got to say this: the casting in the show is spot on. It's fantastic. But they cast the guy for Samuel, and when I was first watching it, I'm like, this guy looks familiar, but whatever. So then I'm talking to you about it at breakfast,
right?
and you told me that the actor was also Ike Clanton in Tombstone.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Now I can't not see it. And so I see the guy in the House of David, and I'm hearing his lines from Tombstone. And
That's right. That is the most quotable. That is the most quotable movie of all time.
It's up there. Yeah.
one of my
And
favorites. If it comes on TV and it's halfway done, I'll watch the rest of it.
yep.
So,
And the most quotable TV show, The Office.
yeah.
Fair.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, my oldest son Peter used to not sleep through the night well, and so we would get up, and I'd get up, and I would sit in the rocking chair, and we watched Tombstone, and I'll bet we watched it 100 times, over and over and over again. We just watched it. I don't think he remembers a bit of it, but I do. We watched it all the time, so it's a good movie.
Not historically accurate,
Who cares?
but it's such a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah,
Names in it.
yeah. That's actually one of the things I was telling Shelby this last night. I said one of the things that I really I can't fix it, but one of the things I'm super embarrassed about is, I have hundreds, if not thousands, of clients, and I represent them, and I meet with them, and I talk to them, and I do their estate plans, and I do their stuff, and I don't remember their names at all. I'll see them the next day. I don't know who they are. But a guy comes on the show last night. We're watching Frasier, and like random character actor. I'm like, oh, that's M. Emmett Walsh. He was in this movie, and I know who he is. And I know all these actors' names that are just like rando actors.
Yep.
And I don't know why I know who they are. I don't know why I know their names, but it's stuck in there. And I can't believe that I can remember those folks, but not the people that I represent.
Is a good.
Do you know, of course, Brent Spiner played Data on Star Trek.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you know what sitcom he was on prior to, and it was just a little bit part, but he was on a sitcom prior to doing Star Trek. And he played this just backwoods country hillbilly.
I can't think of it.
Get it?
No, I can't think.
Night Court.
Yes, I do remember him being on.
Showed up.
Yeah,
as
I remember it.
detective in a case.
For sure. I remember it. Yep.
Yep.
Well, the one of the shows we were watching last night, we were watching Criminal Minds. So that's one of the shows that we're watching right now. And there's a guy, and he's interviewing Spencer to make sure he's competent to return back to work after his traumatic experience. I'm like, oh, that's Tuvok, because he was Tuvok from that, Star Trek Voyager.
So another one from Tombstone,
Yeah.
McMasters, is one of the guys that joins up with Wyatt at the end for the big ride, and
Mm-hmm.
I think he ends up being dragged to death by a horse.
Yeah.
He's the guy that.
He is in Guardians of the Galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
Yondu.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he is.
Whistler guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Another
Yondu.
one, and once you see it, once you realize that, you can't not see it.
Not Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, but the other one, Turkey Jack somebody.
Vermillion.
No, the other one. It was Turkey Creek Jack Johnson. It wasn't Turkey Vermillion. He is in Yellowstone. He's one of the guys in Yellowstone, and he's actually the cowboy that dies on the ride in one of the last seasons.
I tried to watch Yellowstone.
Yeah. Well, you gotta like turn off the profanity because like it's.
And would they say anything?
Well, yeah. So the first season or so, there's a little bit of nudity, but they get past that. You know, they did that to get people watching. But after that, there's very little nudity or sexuality after the first couple episodes.
There was nobody that we could say, I like that person.
Well, you know, and that's what your sister said. A lot of the shows I watch, she's like, there's nobody here that you can like. They're all bad. I'm like, well, that's kind of life, hon. That's the way we all are. We're all bad, you know? That's kind of the point. We're all bad. There's no good people.
If I watch a show, I want there to be a good guy.
That's exactly what your sister says. Is I want a good person. I want the good guys, and I want the good guys to win at the end. And that's the way it is. And yeah, Yellowstone's like that. There's no good people. I mean, they're all corrupt in some way.
You watched Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, for sure. 3 or 4 times, yeah. And you know the thing about Breaking Bad that kind of always fascinated me was that you may not agree with the decisions that he's making, but they're all logical. Everything he does, you're like, well, it's probably the wrong decision, but it makes sense what he did. It's logical for him to do what he did. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
But it made sense, which is why it's so compelling, I think, is because you're like, oh, I get it. It was wrong, but I get it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know. We just could never.
No, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Yellowstone, those are my kind of shows. I like them all, and they're horrible, and nobody should watch them. I don't recommend them.
I really like them, but I don't recommend them.
Yeah, 100%.
I wanted to point out before you said something about Shelby. We are truly, like, you graduated in 89, I'm 88.
87.
87. Yeah.
I'm the elder statesman here.
Right.
Yeah.
And, mean elder statesman.
Hey, you got to find your strengths and go with it.
That's right. But in the 80s, Johnny and I were talking, and the girls would say the same. The biggest movie that everybody watched over and over and over again, like Tombstone, through the 80s would be what movie?
I got 2 for you.
All right.
But if I'm going to have to pick one, I'm going to say Back to the Future.
It's a great one. And that you and I have.
Yeah, we did. We have a personal connection to that one. Yes, we do.
But do you have a guess?
I don't know. I mean,
I have one other guess that I would.
Back to the 80s.
It's a
how hard
series.
It would be a series.
Yeah, like
So a series of movies.
Yes.
So a trilogy.
Really?
It had 4 in from 76 through 80. Rocky.
Yeah.
You had Mr.
Yo,
T,
Adrian.
you had
All
Apollo
right.
Creed, and then you had I Must Break You. You know, the guy.
I won't dispute that, but if I was going to throw another one out, it would be Top Gun.
Yep.
That was the other movie
it
that I think
only had the
it only had the one, but I think that's one that we all watched
Yep.
over and over again. Yeah.
But, yeah.
If you go a little later in the genre, a little later in the timeline, I'm going to say Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but that's just me. So
I don't know.
I got through.
Can we, real quick, do another one of those commercial things?
Sure, yeah. I'll show my commercial all you want.
I
Yeah.
do not need to go to
feeling
the
gassy?
bathroom, and I'm not feeling gassy. What's wrong with you?
Lots.
Let me see if I can find it again.
List or categorize.
Be kind.
I'm kind of.
All right. I'm Will Worsham. After 20 years in criminal law, I shifted gears because I saw too many families suffer when the estate plan they thought was solid wasn't. Parents thought they had it all taken care of, only for their kids to find out too late that they didn't. That's why I created Worsham Workshops, entertaining, informative sessions where families learn to avoid the most common pitfalls in estate planning. You don't have to leave your family's legacy to chance. Join a Worsham Workshop and see why so many families trust us with their legacy. Visit worshamworkshops.com or call us today.
Because Mark couldn't remember the things on our list.
Yeah, we're back. We're back live.
Get a chance to do promos and stuff like that, and so we have currently. Let's see. I'm a realtor now. Did you know that?
I did know that. Yeah.
Jones Lastly, so I'm shout out to them. And all my family, or like 2 or 3 of them, are watching. So hello to all of you guys. And Appleseed is a ministry that we have started.
Yeah, Appleseed's
And
really cool.
So we need to talk about Appleseed a little bit. And I don't know. Being in education 25 years kind of lends itself to wanting to talk about this and be a part of it, but it is an education. It's a ministry for educators. So I'm not the best one to articulate it without being all goofy.
It's a good word.
Thank you. What would you say about Appleseed?
Way to put him on the spot, Mark.
I don't know as much about it as you do.
Here's what I would say.
Thank
So if you're going to understand what it means to be a human and a Christian, then you understand that your purpose in life is to understand God and to glorify Him and enjoy Him forever.
Go for it.
And therefore, our commission is to go forth and make disciples of all men. And we want to do that, and we want to reach people for the glory of God, which is our primary purpose. I think it's a misnomer that people think that the purpose of evangelism is to see people saved. That's great. But the reason we want people to be saved is to glorify God. That's our purpose. And so Appleseed is a specific ministry that I think was brilliant because it said, we want to reach people. We want to reach children. We want to reach kids because they will have the longest lifeline impact. And the people that have the most influence over children are those that spend the most time with them. And those are Jesus-loving teachers. And they need our support. And Appleseed is designed to support those Jesus-loving teachers in our public and private schools that have daily contact with children and have the ability to impact them for the glory of God. Okay?
Wow. Okay. There you go. We don't need to say anything.
Man,
So you could go back later and pull that out,
that was so good.
transcribe it, and use it.
Can that and use it. Yeah.
Yeah, that blew you and Pete both out of the water.
That was so good. Pete, shout out to you. He started Appleseed with that very thing
Pete
in
Fritsch,
mind.
just for the record.
That's Pete Fritsch, Appleseed. Yep. And then we have a fantastic Appleseed core right here in Rogersville, and it's like 20 retired teachers that are a part of that, and they go in and they help educators, mentoring them, doing things for them, going and getting them lunch.
They pray for them.
I pray for them. We've teamed up with like FCA and Young Life, which are other ministries that are within the education.
Well, I just think the nomenclature is so much fun because you've got Appleseed, but those folks you're talking about, those retired teachers,
Right.
they're the Apple Core. I just think that's really
It's so cool.
really great the way that we have you all have said that Apple Core.
Yes.
Yeah, reach the teachers. Yeah.
Well, we have the Apple Core is in Rogersville, does all those things. They'll come in and help with bulletin boards. They'll help laminate. They'll do all these things for these teachers, and be there for them. Just by the way, here's a cup of coffee. If the teachers are pouring from a half full cup, they're not going to be. They're not going to be successful. So we need teachers pouring from a full cup so that they can pour into these children. Another cool thing. We just had a new chapter started in Fordland. So that's a pretty cool thing, too. So I'm pretty proud and pretty happy about all that.
Yeah, multiplying is a big deal when you can.
Say that again?
Multiplying is a big deal when you can reach out and replicate. And I know that's been one of Pete's dreams is, started here in Rogersville, looking to expand to other districts. And so got one in Fordland and,
It's going to snowball.
Seymour, Marshfield, Fairgrove, Clever, not far down the road for sure.
So somebody just texted me
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
and said, how much longer is this show going to be?
Is it your wife?
I think she's hungry.
Well,
Is it time to shut her down?
I don't know. Maybe.
You want to shut this thing down?
if that's what you want, I was just getting rolling. I have a list of jokes over
Okay,
here.
if you're just getting rolling, no. We need to get rolling earlier in the show because
Yeah, you guys are closing in on an hour now, which is
We've had a
fine.
good
You're
time.
50
I
minutes.
Had a good time. This This is good.
This is episode 1. You know, you can have episode 2. Do you guys want to come back next week? 2 weeks? You want to be here next Monday?
I will be operating from an undisclosed.
Well, we can bring you in by remote.
Yeah.
You know, I've got that ability, so we can bring you in by remote.
We could do a song and dance routine.
Sure.
Nope.
Yeah. Whatever you want. Yeah.
Remotely, you can.
Nope.
All right.
Feel
So,
about
Yeah.
potentially guests in the future.
oh, for sure. Yeah. You know, we got a lot of cameras. We got a lot of microphones. We can have guests. You guys can use the other set. You know, we've got multiple sets here. We can sit over there if we want.
This is going to be like, I mean, it's going to be big. We're not going to be
Sure.
Chase.
It's going to be ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Lame, ridiculous. Those are the words.
Wondrous, like greatness.
And that's it for this show.
Get off my lawn.
Get off.
All right. We'll be back, I guess, next week. Brent by remote, Mark live. I'll see if I'm here, and we'll go after that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.